Alright, I made it back with another video. This one is going to be on the Snow White Albinos. It's a line that I've had for about 9-10 months now. And I really am extremely pleased with them. Try to get a better view here. This is my next group of breeders. I've kind of moved on from the original two pair. One male was starting to get a little bit of yellow in the tail. I think that comes in from stress and also from age, because I figure that those two pairs are roughly a little over a year old right now, because I got them in February of 2019 and they had to be at least 4 months old. So some quick reverse math will take us back to about September, October, when they probably were born. So anyway, these are from the first female, which I'm calling line 1. These were born March 22nd. That smaller female was born in May. So I actually moved a couple of smaller females in to get hit by the older males that I like, because just kind of have a feeling with some of these Asian strains that it pays to go back a generation. So I try to do that when I can. But there's, with the exception of one female in here that's kind of a cull, these fish are fantastic. There's a tiny bit of yellow in the tail on this one, but the fin conformation and shape is so good that I'm using them as a one of the breeders, and the rest of the color is fantastic. It's like a fluorescent white. These really do look better in person than they do on camera. That is the real color. It's not enhanced by food or by light. They almost look like they'd glow in the dark, but they don't. So anyway, you can see that little yellow streak of color. So I'll see what kind of fry I get out of them, and if I get stuff I don't like, I'll pull that male out and start over with the rest of them. But I put in some frozen adult brine shrimp and some frozen bloodworms. I actually put in a little too much, because when I put the light on, they don't like the light. I imagine it kind of almost blinds them a little bit, and they have all the food at the bottom. So I'll stir that up after the video's done. This one is the cull. I was actually about to ship this particular female with another male and female to someone that bought them, but her top of her dorsal got nipped really bad, so just using her as a breeder until that grows back. It'll grow back. A couple of these females are very close to dropping fry, this one especially. You can see that she's very wide and very full. In another probably about a week, the she'll be dilated in the back vent, and then the babies will start coming. I do have some thin leaf water sprite, which that's not plant poop. That is some of the frozen bloodworms hanging down. So there's one going for it. And like I said, though, these males are just truly amazing looking. They will get a little bit larger, and I'll probably sell some more of these soon when the next generation is a little bit bigger, and I'm going to actually film those next so you can see how they develop. But the females get very nice body shape, kind of short and squat. They fill out very nicely. When she has babies, it'll probably only be about 20 or so. They stay really fat after giving birth, and I guess that's the development of the next cycle of eggs about to be turned into baby guppies. So I'll move on with some of the others and just show you, as a pair of fish, they're just beautiful. So anyway, hang in there for the rest. Now these were from the first female and male. This was another drop of theirs, which I have marked as the end of May 2019. And boy, remember SCTV, Monster Chiller 3D Theater? That's kind of that. That's probably pissing people off. Just need John Candy and Guy Caballero. So anyhow, these are guaranteed 70% of the people watching this have no idea what I'm talking about. But these were also fed some adult frozen brine shrimp. And these are about 2 months away from reaching a decent sale size. There's been no defects to cull or to pull so far. They're all progressing nicely. If you notice, if I can get a male on here, there is no yellow in the tail yet, but that'll develop on some of them probably in about another month. I don't really know what they use to create these fish, but you know, I'll be perfectly happy with yellow-tailed ones, to be honest with you. But anyway, it's a nice batch of fry in here. I think when I counted them, there was about 35, and these are all growing beautifully, really doing well. So as they get bigger, I'll film them some more. These are the culls, 2 males I culled. There might be 3. I think I might have put 3 in there. And I put 2 hopefully virgin Pingu females. So that's one of my first crosses with the Snow White Albinos, is 2 Pingu females. I want to see what I can get out of that. Sounds like a decent idea to me. So I'll move on to another group of them. If I can get up without falling down. That was pretty smooth. These were born in April, also from that first female. She's had babies every 30 to 35 days like clockwork. And these are excellent as well. I've culled nothing out of this tank. I haven't sold any yet from this batch, but these need about probably another 3 or 4 weeks before I'll be able to check for any yellow coming into the tail on the males, and then that way I can pull aside any of those and I can just sell the ones that are Snow White Albinos. Trying to keep this line going is very expensive to get them from overseas. I think for the 2 pair, between shipping, transshipping, and cost of the 2 pair, I paid about $120, $130. So getting some babies out of them has been fantastic. I was able to make that money back, which means I could go out and buy more fish, which I actually did. So getting a little reflection on here of the other side of the tank. I was trying to get one of these on there. I have to stick with these guys. They're in the front. So see if I can feed them while I'm here. This is my contraption for feeding the frozen concoction. So I use this thing. It's a ear wash thingamajig, and I put the frozen stuff goes in a little container. So that's frozen bloodworms and frozen adult brine shrimp. So anyway, they're going after it. If they were a little bit smaller, I would have had to cut up the bloodworms just with like a razor blade, just chop it up into like thirds. You don't want the fish choking on it. This guy's happy as can be. He's showing off to all the chicks in there that he's got a giant piece of food. They don't really seem to care. This guy's he's got the wrong things going on in life there, but he does have nice fin shape, nice color, and you can see the females are filling out really nicely. So, and no doubt that in no time there'll be babies in those plants. So I'll try to add in one more part of the video Try to get some of the ones from the second female, one of the first drops she had, because that was one I showed before, and I had a little bit of surprise in that batch, because I think one female is a long fin, and one male or another female is developing as well. So, alright, I'll be back with the end of the video, and thanks for hanging in. Now I'll get back to the other fish I wanted to film, but you can see that they ate all the, just about all the frozen adult brine shrimp and bloodworms. The males are kind of like the average guy sitting around after eating too much, waiting for a football game to start. They're hanging up in the plants, just kind of laying in the plants. That's pretty cool. And females are still chowing down. They're really enjoying the food. It's not a bad treat to give them both things, the frozen adult brine shrimp and the bloodworms. Because I do give them live baby brine shrimp once a day, my high protein mixed food once a day, and the third meal, if I give them one, is the frozen adult brine shrimp or bloodworms or the flake foods I mix up. Anyway, back to the video. I wanted to show the drop from one of the other female. So anyway, hang in there. I really can't show you these fish. These are this is line 2, the original pair. I put a couple of young fish in there because these, like I said, they're about a year, a little more old. This is the other one, line 1, and as you can see, and I'm still dealing with green water in this tank and this tank, but they're doing really well still. Females are full. They'll have babies again. And this is line 2, March 25th. I got this drop from that second female, and they're growing out nicely. I'll try to get her on here. She's in the back. You can kind of see it's a long fin female right there. Hopefully she'll come in the front. I put that now this male I'm going to cull because there's a little bit of yellow in the top of the tail. So I'm going to do that as soon as the video is over, actually. But there's the long fin female. The tail edge is ragged, but that's how it grows out. You can see the anal fin and the dorsal fin are very long. So I guess it's kind of like almost a ribbon fin, or long fin, whatever. Not up on the terms of what they are. But so far, so good with these. Like I said, they're eating the frozen adult brine shrimp and frozen bloodworms. There, she's got a bloodworm in there. And all is well. So these will be for sale probably in about a month, some of these. If you're, some of the people that bought the first Snow White Albinos I sold, that was from line 1. You might want to kind of ramp up to buy some of these, because this is the second line, and you can cross them down the road with the ones you do have. For the people I sold Snow White Albinos to, I think they all managed to get babies out of them so far, except for the ones I just shipped on Monday. So anyway, that'll do it for the video. I have about 4 more tanks of batches of these Snow White Albinos, but I don't want to overdo it. I don't want the video to be too long, so we'll just give it a rest.